What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Trick 10s. Today I'm working on my personal boat and I have some goodies here from our buddies over at Watt Cycle. They hooked us up with 4 lithium batteries. We are going to attempt to put these inside of the compartment in this Tracker PT190. Yes, this is my boat. Don't really work on my own stuff on the channel very often, but I wanted to upgrade the batteries in here to something that can fit into the allowed compartment where I can have 4 batteries. Now these trackers, they come stock with an area next to the gas tank where you can only fit 3 batteries, so it makes it kind of difficult when you want to run graphs and black boxes for live scope, and then you need to have 2 batteries for your trolling motor. Now I thought about going with a 24-volt trolling motor battery alone, but the issue with that is that the chargers that they sell for the batteries don't have the capability in a 4-bank charger or a 3-bank charger to do one 24-volt battery, a 12-volt, and a 12-volt. And that led me to where I'm at. So what I'm going to do is hook up all 4 of these, and I'm going to install a 4-bank battery charger for 12 volt. Now my plan, both of these small batteries I'm going to hook up just for my trolling motor, and then this 100 amp hour mini, this is going to power all the graphs in the black box. We have 3 graphs in here, and we have a live scope, and all of that stuff's going to come off of this right here. I'm also going to power the LED lights and stuff like that in the boat. It's not really a lot of stuff. I'm hoping this is going to be enough power. If not, we're going to have to change some things up. But I think this is going to be good enough for what I do. I take my boat out and fish majority about 4 to 5 hours at a time, and that's it. So if this can get me through that, I'll be happy. These batteries are Bluetooth though, so I'm going to be able to check on them while I'm out there on the water, and I'll update you guys on how long the runtime is and how much battery I actually use. Then we have a 12 volt 100 amp hour cranking battery. Now they tell you that this is not for cranking a car engine, and that's basically because the heat inside of the engine is not good for the battery and it can cause the BPM to shut this thing off. But they did say that it is okay to install it as a cranking battery for an outboard engine. I'm hoping this is going to do what I need it to. This is a good sized battery, and this outboard motor only needs about 800 cold cranking amps to get it started. This thing puts out about 1200. So with that being said, it should be more than enough to get this motor up and running. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I finally got the batteries that I think are going to fit into my compartments. I'm going to rip these old batteries out of here, and I'm going to put these in there, and we'll see how they fit. Let's get back to work. All right, guys, so I got all the old batteries out of here. Now up here I had a gel battery, and you can see this is where the Group 24 is at, because the way they run this stuff in this tracker, well, they got this hose right here, and it's really ridiculous because they could make this gas tank a little bit smaller and move this over. That way you can fit 3 Group 31 size batteries in here and be a whole lot easier. So we've got this small area in the back, and I've got 2 more battery spaces right here. I had 2 full-size Group 31 100 amp hour batteries, which are basically the same size as this one right here. Now these are a lot smaller, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to stack maybe both of these minis side by side right here, and then I'm going to have one more mini and then the full-size one in the back that's going to be for the cranking the outboard. I don't know, but I do have to remove the battery tender that's in here. I had a 3-bank battery tender in here that came, well, it didn't come stock with the boat. I put this in here, but this thing's been in here for about 5 years. This is not a lithium battery charger. It was cheap, and I had gel batteries in here before, so it was fine. But now that we're going to go with all these lithiums, we're going to get rid of this. I've got another 4-bank. I'm going to put that inside of here, and I'm going to pull the wires through for that. And then I'm going to start putting these batteries up in there. Once I get the battery tender installed, then I'll circle back with you guys once I start setting these in here and show y'all how I set them up. I'll probably get my vacuum out and clean this up a little bit. I know this boat is neglected, guys. I'm gonna build this whole boat out, don't worry. I have upgraded all the electronics. These batteries are the last stage of the game. Trailer's over there, new aluminum trailer going on it. And then hopefully this fall, I'm gonna gut this entire boat down to the bare hull and rebuild every piece of it to make this the ultimate Trick 10. I'm gonna put you guys back on the hyperlapse, get this stuff going. Let's get back to work. All right, so check it out, guys. It got dark quick out here, but I did get everything hooked up. Now, I didn't realize it, but that battery pan up in there, that plastic pan is the only thing keeping you from running 3 Group 31 batteries inside of here. Now, I left it because the battery we put up there, that's 100 amp mini battery, so it fits in there perfectly fine. I strapped that one down, and that is basically powering all the electronics in the boat, my live scope, and my 3 graphs, and it's also hooked to the switch panel at the console. And then right behind that, we have 2 50 amp hour batteries. I came back and I installed a little angle down here, and that basically just sandwiches these in and holds them tight. And right behind that, we have the big 12 volt 100 amp hour battery. This is for the outboard motor, and I did crank it with the outboard, and it started up, and I let it run for about 15-20 minutes. I brought it up to about 2,500 RPMs, and no issues. So I'm hoping that it's going to be good. I'm going to take it out tomorrow and test it. Now look, inside of here, I did install a lifetime battery tender. Now I know this is not from Watt Cycle, but my mom bought this for me for my birthday, and this was only $200. The NOCO Genius one that I was going to get was $400, so I figured I'd take a chance on this one. Now look, you can see these first 2 batteries, they're red, that means they're charging. This one's green, which means it's about fully charged, and that one that's flashing green, well, that means that it's fully charged, and it is just giving it a little trickle cycle to keep it at 100%. So look, I did hook up my graphs, got our live scope going, and this graph bridge right here, this is for sale. This is live. I do have these 4 of these Tracker PT190s. Also have them with a flat bottom that you can mount back here and fit over the foot pedal tray, but everything's working as it should. Trolling motor, look, ready to go. I'm hyped, man. This is sick. I've been trying to figure out a battery configuration for this boat for a while where I can have 4 batteries in there, and we got it. I'm hoping that everything works as it should. Back here, pin optics on the side console. I'm going to take this thing out in the water tomorrow. I'm going to do a little fishing with it, and I'm going to run this trolling motor. Now, I did connect my phone to the Bluetooth capabilities on these batteries, and this battery in the back and the battery in the front, both the 100 amp hour batteries, those are Bluetooth. I guess these 50 amps are not, because they did not show up on the Bluetooth app, but both of these were pretty much at 99%. Actually, the one in the front was at like 89, but now it's at 99. It's been charging for about 45 minutes because I used that one on my canoe with my daughter for about 3 or 4 hours the other day, and they're all charging, and by the time I get up in the morning, they should all be at 100%. I'm hyped, man. This is a cool setup if you have a tracker boat and you're trying to figure out how you can run 4 batteries in here, because you got space in here. I mean, technically you could run a big full-size 100 amp hour battery up in the front too, and I mean, these could be ran as a 24 or even a 36 volt, because they have 36 volts that will fit into the same size as the Group 31s, but this is how I wanted to set it up. That way I could charge it with the same battery tender and charger. This is going to be a cool upgrade for the boat, and eventually I'm going to rip everything out of this boat. It's going to be a nightmare, but once it's done, it's going to be well worth it. All right, guys, last night got all the batteries installed in the boat. This morning, decided to take it out and do a little test run. We fished for about 4 hours. I was on that trolling motor religiously, cranked and started this motor up at least 5-6 times. No issues. Everything ran flawlessly. I'm very excited that this is done, man. This is a big plus for me. Having all these batteries into this small area over here, it's a humongous difference. Now, I cannot test the 50 amps. Those aren't Bluetooth, I guess, because I couldn't find them in the Bluetooth app. But both the 100 amp hour batteries, well, those only went from like 99 down to like 80 something. So, I mean, that was 4 hours on the water. Regardless, this is sweet, man. I'm pumped. If you guys are interested in getting any of these Watt Cycle batteries, I will leave the link in the description of this video. Go check them out. If you're going to get some, use my code TRICK10s. It'll save you a little bit of money, and it'll help me out. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me today, watching. Hit that like, subscribe button, guys. Leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's get back to work.